Kia ora koutou, e hoa ma. Hello my friends from around the country or beyond. My name is Fiona of Sun Moon Calendar.nz. Welcome to this video about the new moon in Pisces that's coming up on Monday the 20th of February. If you like this video, please like, comment or subscribe. And you could also go to my Facebook page. The details are in the description box below. That's sunandmooncalendar.nz. If you'd like to see weekly energy forecasts for aspects and transits that are happening each week. Lately, a few people have been sharing your thoughts in the comment section under the videos, and I've appreciated reading those, so thank you. It's great to see how the aspects and transits affect other people, or the new moon and full moon. So let me know how you experience some of what's going on that I talk about. Now, I'm going to turn over the calendar because we are into the lunar month of Pisces coming up. We have just finished the lunar month of Aquarius and we are now turning it over to the lunar month of Pisces. Let's get into it. Monday, the 20th of February, 8 in the evening, so just before sunset. I've put the sunset time there for Whakatū Nelson. If you're further north, it will be earlier, and if you're further south, it will be a later sunset. But that will be a lovely time to look over at the sun and know that the moon is there, because we won't see it, and to think about the fact that it is the new moon and a new start. This March period, end of February into March, is really a time of new beginnings. So that new moon is at 1 degree, which is a degree of beginnings and potentiality. But we've got some other things going on, which I'll talk about a bit later on. The energy of Pisces. Pisces is ruled by two planets. The ancient ruler is Jupiter and the modern ruler is Neptune. With Pisces, Jupiter is about expansion and feeling like there's endless possibilities. There's a sense of optimism, a sense of good luck, where good luck can arrive and help you along. And with Neptune, there's this sense of universal understanding, unconditional acceptance. We are all together, we are all one, a boundlessness, a flow. So Neptune is spiritual, it's also creative and very imaginative. But every planet has an upside and a downside, just like every sign has positive and negative manifestations. With Neptune, there can be illusion, delusion, and that can creep into untruthfulness because the imagination just takes you away from reality too much. The element of Pisces is water. Pisces loves to flow. It's about feelings and emotions flowing this way and that way. And Pisces, with that connection to feelings, can also be very intuitive. And the modality is mutable, so even more flow there, going this way and that way, flexible and adaptable. At the time of the new moon, take some time to pause and rest and contemplate. It's not that you stop doing everything, because of course you might not be able to, but don't start your big new projects until you've had a chance for the quiet voice in your heart to guide you towards what those projects and new starts might be. And I recommend that you start taking your action steps, your communications, your first concrete steps towards your projects once you can see the crescent moon in the sky. Now let's look at some of the other energies going on with this new moon. We have all the planets going forwards until April, so this is a time to get things done, get things moving forward, and lots of things happening, lots of momentum. I've talked about that before, so I won't go on about it. But March, boy, what a month. We have got Saturn moving into Pisces, and that will be 3 years in Pisces. We've got Pluto moving into Aquarius for the first time in 240 years or so. So these are some of the new beginnings that are going to be changing the energy that we're operating under for the next long time. And we have a conjunction between Chiron and Jupiter on the 12th of March. Some of these things I'll talk about more when I do the full moon video for Virgo next time. Saturn into Pisces. Wow. We've had roughly 3 years of Saturn in Aquarius. Before that, Saturn was in Capricorn and in January 2020. Leading up to March, and you know what happened in March? We had restrictions and lockdowns. In January of that year, we had this big, once in 500 year or so, conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Jupiter was there in the mix, expanding some of the energy, perhaps also offering protection, but we know how transformative that time was. Saturn moving into Pisces is not transformative on that level because that was really big time. Saturn has a roughly 30-year orbit, so it was in Pisces last in the 1990s, mid-1990s, early to mid. Okay, so it is quite a big deal, once in 30 years or so that we have this. So let's have a look at Saturn and Pisces. So you can see on the table there, Saturn is about boundaries, it's restrictive, it's about rules, it's about doing things slowly in a disciplined way, step by step. Pisces is quite different. It is boundless, it loves to flow, it doesn't like restrictions, it just wants to be able to escape in a way, float away. And I was laughing while I was making this slide because I was putting Pisces into this very rectangular square table that Saturn would like that table. Pisces would not. I was trying to find if I could do the edges of the table wavy so Pisces would feel better, but I couldn't make that work. Anyway, these two won't be the worst enemies in the world because Saturn can help to build things, it can help to bring structure to things, and with some of the more wild and unrealistic claims that have been made in the spiritual community, Saturn might bring some realism there. And when I say that, I don't mean the unusualness of some of the claims, I perhaps refer more to the speed at which we think we can become enlightened or ascend. But who knows? None of us have lived through this type of configuration with all the planets and stars that we're currently going through. This is such a time of evolutionary change, and we can co-create. So what do you want to see? Perhaps you can use the Saturn transit through Pisces over the next 3 years to think about what in your imaginative world, your creativity or your spirituality, from those energies within, what do you want to build? Perhaps as something to share with the world, perhaps as a legacy for the future. And you can use that Saturn energy of hard work, discipline, slow but steady progress and organized steps towards that. So good luck to all of us with that. Looking at Pluto, it doesn't move into Aquarius until the 24th of March, and at the time of the new moon it's at the 29th degree of Capricorn, and at the 29th, that final degree, the expression of that sign is intensified and some of the negative expressions could come out. So perhaps we'll see more authoritarianism or control. And I'm not going to go political or anything, but in your personal life, where does that come out? Are you perhaps being a bit too hard and unrealistic on your kids? I need to remember that. Or on a partner, or with friendships, or on yourself perhaps. Just notice where that's coming up. Things to think about with this new moon. This is a new moon in Pisces, creative, imaginative Pisces. What do you want to start that is creative, artistic, and thinking about that Saturn influence coming in? Perhaps you could think of how to structure your creativity. Pisces can also be about healing with that unconditional acceptance and compassion of Neptune in there. As Saturn comes in, perhaps we can think of ways to structure how we give others acceptance and compassion. perhaps the kind of boundaries that people need to use when they're in a job like counselling or social work, for example. So boundaries around it. And what compassionate visions do you have for the world? What could you build? Again, Pisces is a great one for visualizing the world that we want to see, and Neptune is in Pisces for 14 years, a long time. So that gives strength to that. So this is all part of co-creating this world that's a better world for all of us. There we go, everyone. That is my analysis of this upcoming new moon in Pisces. Let us remember that we are living in grand times of change, and we can help to create the world that we want to see. Remember to like, comment or subscribe if you'd like this video, and hei konara, all the best for the coming lunar month.